The engines of the Cora Railway are one of the most hard-working engines in England. They are the power behind the main line, branches, and industries all around them. This is the Cora Railway. The Cora Railway has many engines working on it, and each engine has their own duty or job to perform. While most of the engines do mixed traffic work, 2 engines have their own jobs, these being Charles and Nate. Charles mainly handles the heavy goods, whilst Nate does mixed traffic work. He is also one of the main shunters on the railway. One night, Nate was shunting in the yards at Southall Sheds. As Nate was finishing up his shunting, he was complaining bitterly.
You know, it's getting tiring being the only engine doing anything useful around here.
The other engines just ignored him, which caused Nate to edge on.
Honestly, you're all lazy. You all do the bare minimum to keep this railway going. I'll go as far as saying that I could do everyone's jobs in one puff.
By this time, the engines of Southall were getting tired of Nate's complaining and tried to shut him up.
Yes, you're so reliable. Now, if you could shut up and let us important engine get some sleep, then that would be...
That's another thing. You big engines act like you're so important and so sensible. Do sensible engines leave their trains scattered around the yard? I mean, at least Alice and Marcus bothered to leave their trains in one of the sidings.
Nate, we understand your feelings, but can we talk about this another time?
No, Isaac, you don't understand. None of you big engines do. I swear, we need another tank engine to put up with all of you instead of me. Maybe I can shut up Wington, where the most sensible engines sleep.
Alright, Nate, I think we all get the memo. Now, can we please get some sleep? It's late enough as it is.
Yeah, whatever.
The next day, Marcus was sent to pick up a train from Wington Station. Atlas was also there, backing down onto his usual goods.
Hello, Marcus. Nice day for it, isn't it?
What's so nice about it?
Heh, can expect you to be in a good mood to save the life of you. What's wrong today?
It's Nate. He kept us up all night long with his complaining.
And what was he on about this time?
To put it short, he was on about how the others were sloppy when leaving their trains in the yard. And how we need another engine to put up with them.
Oh my. Well, if I know Nate, then he'll probably get over it soon.
Well, soon better come quick. If he goes on and around like that, I'll go mad.
Well, let's hope he doesn't then. I'll see you later, old friend. Goodbye.
Atlas gave a cheerful whistle as he puffed away. And not long after, Marcus set off with his own train. But little did the 2 engines know, a certain passenger had overheard everything. The next day, Nate was sitting in the yard awaiting the next train to come in, when a small green tank engine puffed up. The railway controller stepped down from his cab.
Hello, Nate. So I was recently informed that you needed help in the yard. Therefore, I have purchased this engine to come help you out. Nate, I present to you Phil.
Heya.
Hello, Phil.
Now that the 2 of you have gotten acquainted with each other, I will be off. Nate, your job is to show Phil the ropes and teach him how we do things around here.
Yes, sir.
Nate showed Phil around the yards. Phil was shy, but he did his work. Nate saw how efficiently Phil worked, and he was impressed. Later that afternoon, Nate and Phil had finished their work for the day and had arrived at Southall Sheds. Atlas and Marcus were there. They glared at the newcomer suspiciously.
Nate, who's this?
This is Phil. He's the new Shunter here. He's helping me out in the yards.
Well, I can see why I'm needed here. Look at him. He's a little useless, am I right?
Phil, what's your attitude?
You're a rude one.
Maybe you're wrong.
I saw you at the station. You're so slow. I bet a child could beat you in a race.
Alright. Nate, remove this fool from the shed. We don't need to see him.
Right away, sir.
Nate puffed away, with Phil trailing behind.
What a horrid engine.
You're telling me.
Phil abandoned Nate and found a siding to sleep on. Nate was appalled by Phil's behavior. The next day at Southall, Nate was waiting for Phil when Isaac showed up.
Hey, Nate, have you seen Phil today?
No, I haven't.
But then a loud crash was heard in the yards. Riley came up to Nate looking furious.
Nate, you need to come here right now.
Nate puffed into the yards and saw it in disarray. He was furious with Phil.
Phil, what is this? Explain.
The trucks were being annoying, and I taught them a lesson.
We still don't bump them. I can't deal with you right now. Just go away and find work elsewhere. I have to help out at Wington.
Phil was furious with Nate and puffed away. Throughout the day, he saw Riley, Charles, Isaac, and Atlas. He criticized them all for being too fast, too slow, and other things. They weren't happy with Phil, and later that night, after Nate had cleaned up the mess, he headed to Southall Sheds, where Atlas, Marcus, Riley, Isaac, and Charles were, and they didn't look happy at all.
Hey, guys, what's wrong?
Did you teach Phil any manners at all? He's horrible.
I wish I could help with that, but he's being so stubborn and rude. I wish I could help him, but he seems to think that life is a game.
He needs to not be so rude. I know Isaac and myself are the youngest engines around here, but we're trying to help out and not be ridiculed by a newcomer.
Well, if you were more reliable, responsible, and really useful, this wouldn't have happened.
Those words stood out in the engine's smoke boxes. For a few days, Phil distanced himself from Nate and the other engines. It seemed like he felt bad, but he didn't care. Phil was rude to his friends and needed to be taught a lesson. Nate was heading down to the harbor one day when he saw Phil talking to Trevor.
Those engines are so useless. They don't know the first thing about being useful.
I hate to agree with you, Phil. Once, I would have agreed with you. But, Nate, help me see sense.
Well, he hasn't done that to me.
Yes, I have. You just don't listen.
Fine.
See, Nate has helped you see sense. You just don't want to listen to Nate. He's trying to help you.
Phil left the harbor very angry to the shock of Trevor and Nate.
Pourquoi ne écoute le passe?
Nate looked at Trevon very seriously. He wondered what was going to happen to the new Shunter. Well, that's a story for another day.